What is going on, everybody? Welcome to my video explaining exactly how this fucking idiot made $21,500 in the past 30 days with two skills, more specifically sales. Now, when I say this video is not like your typical piece of content that you consume on YouTube, I am not kidding, okay? I know that there are so many gurus, there's so much bullshit on the internet that you consume that you just don't get the full source from. So this video is going to break down my exact step-by-step journey to get to the point where I made $21,500 in 30 fucking days. As a literal retired weed addict while still retard maxing, having had no fucking experience with the online game. When I tell you I had zero idea what I was doing at the start of this journey, I was so retarded. And I was still smoking weed at the start of this journey. This was me 1.5 years ago, literally geeked, gacked out of my brains. And this is me 1.5 years later, no longer geeking, but still fucking retarded. This is with my Test Bros account that I run with Thomas. Now, also as well using my personal account, which I post sales content. Now, I made all this money by simply learning one fucking skill. No degree, no business, zero qualifications. And I'm gonna explain exactly how you guys can do the exact same thing, replicate my success, my exact journey step by step, and what you can do in the next 12 months to achieve the exact same fucking results. Let's get started on the origin story. This was me 2 years ago in my gap year working a bar job with some bum ass haircut from a small country town called Wagga Wagga. I mean, it's the place of many crackheads. Everyone there was either going to uni or working a trade. The traditional path was all I fucking knew. That was literally the path that I was meant to be put down. I got like 3 uni offers and I turned them all down because I was like, nah, fuck that. I know there's something else out there for me, but I delayed action. And just a year ago, I was in the exact same spot as most people watching this video. I mean, I had 900 bucks to my name. I was so fucking broke, working some dead end job and I felt lost and behind. Bro, I was super depressed. Like, look at me. Do I look happy? Do I look like I want to be there? No. I tried a lot of things before I got to this spot. Before I actually saw success, before I actually learned the skills and actually understood online business as a whole. See, my depressed ass was going home from every shift looking at any way to make money online. And I feel like, especially in the era that I was in, coming out of school through 2020 to 2021, 2022, 2023 and onwards, there were so many ways to make money online. There were so many gurus. There were so many guys figuring out new ways to make money online. It was really starting to take off in that direction. I tried SMMA. I tried e-commerce. I tried dropshipping. Bro, you name it. I tried it. Nothing worked for an entire year. I got nowhere for a year. With affiliate marketing, I bought some bum-ass course. But the point of the matter here is I tried a lot of things. I tried so many ways to make money online and I just couldn't understand why I couldn't crack it, what I was doing wrong or where I was going wrong. With the e-commerce and the dropshipping side of things, I was trying to sell these cheap Clash plushie toys. I didn't understand sales. I didn't understand skills. I didn't understand marketing as a whole. I was kind of just going into it blind and yeah, I made some sales. Yeah, I did get profitable, but the thing was I didn't feel aligned with what I was doing. This is a little Snapchat flashback, March 2024 when I was trying to do affiliate marketing. Now, when I started posting content at the start, I got a little bit of motion, which was pretty cool. The thing was, I didn't understand sales. I was garnering all this attention and I had no idea how to sell. The point of the matter was I was trying. I was trying with my best mate, Huddy. You guys have seen him in my cold calling content. That period of my life where I was trying to do things, I kind of felt like I was on a hamster wheel. I was doing all these things and I was going nowhere. And I feel like a lot of people kind of feel like that. I feel like there is so much information on YouTube or on Instagram or TikTok to the point where you are almost paralyzed by options. You don't actually know what you're doing. And that's why when I say doing business models is never the answer. The thing I realized was doing business models without having learned any fucking skills was going to get me nowhere because I was trying to run a business without understanding what marketing was, what sales was, and how it actually worked. You take any business, for example, like e-com. I asked ChatGPT, break down exactly what e-commerce entails. The core idea is that you need to find a product, market it online, someone buys it, you fulfill the order, and then you get profit. That is e-commerce. The core idea here is with dropshipping, for example, it is a branch of e-commerce. If customers buy from your website, the supplier ships directly to them. For example, you sell a massage gun for $79. The supplier charges you $28 and you keep the difference minus your ad spend that you have to spend getting that product in front of your ICP. Now, the thing about e-commerce is the pros are, low startup costs, no inventory, easy to start, but the cons are there's low margins, slower shipping, less control, and it's fucking saturated. This is what most of the TikTok gurus push. Like I said, business models are not the answer in today's day and age. They're so saturated. If you don't understand skills, you're going to be cooked because these guys have been in the game forever. The core idea I was missing this entire time: to succeed in e-commerce, you need to know marketing. You need to know sales. When I tried to go at dropshipping, I knew none of these skills. Henceforth, it was falling on its ass. I was failing miserably because I was trying to do the business model without actually understanding the skills. Now, the product I was trying to sell, like I said, these cheap Clash plushie toys to kids. And the thing about that was I had to worry about fulfillment. I had to worry about shipping. I had little to no control over success because a viral piece of content was purely based on the algorithm. There was no skill there. It was just luck. I felt like I was scamming people, bro. Like, more to the point, I felt like I was scamming people with little to no experience in the online space, which is what I had at the start. And business in general, what is the best skill to learn? So if you're starting with little to no experience, the best skill to learn is attention and sales. Not coding, not dropshipping, not crypto, not AI automation. Because if you can get attention, communicate value, influence decisions, you can make money in almost any business model in general. And that combination compounds forever. You have control over the skills. You don't have control over business models. I want you guys to understand that. The best first skill to learn right now is high income communication. This includes sales, content creation, copywriting, persuasion, storytelling, marketing psychology. Why? Because it is business fundamentals. It is fundamentally how a business is made. Can you convince people to care? That's it. That's all you need to know. What did I do after that point? I went down the rabbit hole with free resources because I understood, okay, if I want to learn skills and how to actually make money, I need to learn sales. I need to learn psychology, why people buy, how to garner attention and get leads and sell those people on a product or service that I sell. You can have the best product, the best service in the world since sliced bread. And if you don't understand these skills, you're not going to be able to sell anything because the fundamentals are not there. You're not actually understanding why people buy it, how to get their eyes on your product or service. This is essentially going down the rabbit hole with free resources. I mean, I tried dropshipping and affiliate marketing by myself and sales as well. I even did over 700 outreach messages to try and land a role. I messaged creators having little to no experience, being like, hey bro, can you hire me? You know, I don't have any experience. I don't have any training, but can you hire me? No. They're obviously not going to put you on the front lines of their business if they cannot trust that you are going to make them money. And at the same time, you're going to lose them money because you don't understand what you're doing. And that was a spot that I was actually in. Now, getting into why sales was the gateway, because the thing was, after trying for so long and actually getting into sales, I understood that this was the gateway. This was the way that I was actually going to break out. I was ready to give up. Bro, I tried so much that I was ready to give up until I found high ticket sales. I was going to settle for the path that was put in front of me. Now, this was a literal recording of me in sales calls getting trained up to understand closing and sales. And I'm going to get into the exact experience that I had being a closer. But essentially what sales has done for me, I was able to travel the world last year with my best friends, going to Vietnam, going to Bali, going overseas and just doing the things that I wanted to do purely because closing and being a salesperson, you're allowed to be remote. You can work from wherever, you can work whenever, pick your hours. That's what I wanted, just freedom. And I didn't have that working my jobs. I didn't have that doing the traditional path that I was set on. Now, through getting trained up, I actually landed my first DM setting role. Most people who get into sales, especially remote sales, that is the starting point to getting into the position of actually making some good coin. My experience as a DM setter, this was my first ever month being a DM setter. I was making 175, 120, 420, 175, 45, 120, 45 in my first month working with another fitness creator. When I first got into this, I tell you what, I was doing it whilst working my job. It was super stressful, but I was trying to make money on the side so that I could break out, understand closing at the same time to the point where I could replace my income fully and just go full remote, right? Now, this was well before I started traveling and having the freedom that I wanted. My results in my first month of being a closer, 1.4, 2.2, 1.4, 1.4. Then after 2 months of being a closer, I made my first 10K month being $16,000 as of August 2025. The month after, 3 months after being a closer, locked into the game, I made 5.5, 2.1, 3.8, 3.6, 3.5, 4.1, 3.7. These were insane weeks. This was money I'd never seen, never touched in my life. all by learning remote sales and becoming a closer, literally selling someone else's expensive digital product and service on behalf of them. I didn't have to worry about fulfillment. I didn't have to worry about content creation. All I did was get into remote sales and land a solid role to the point where I was having some fucking insane weeks, bro. Like, when I tell you I'd never seen this money in my life, like I was used to $900, $1,200 paychecks every single week, going week to week being like, fuck, groceries, bills, expenses, my fucking car's broken down, I need to pay for that. And this type of money allowed me to understand how much is actually out there in the online world. How much money is actually on the table in terms of online business and learning remote sales. Now, some of you might be sitting there wondering, how does remote sales actually work? So a brief overview, especially high ticket sales, is the selling of premium solutions to qualified prospects who already have a problem and are actively seeking a solution. You're not convincing strangers, you're just guiding people's decisions. This is why one sale can equal weeks of labor. Location becomes irrelevant, time leverage becomes real. And that's what I learned. 3 months of being a closer, that is what I tasted. I was like, okay, I can start making this money from anywhere. And it's literally halving my time as to what I need to do to make that kind of money. You might now understand what high ticket sales is, but what does it look like for a salesperson? A pain and problem, say a fat person, right? They're stuck in this position. They hate being fat. They want to get in shape. They want to be shredded. They might reach out to say, me and Tom, yo, bro, I want to fix this, this, and this. I'm fat. I want to get better. I want to feel better about myself, increase my test, whatever it is. Essentially, by posting content, Tom and I have garnered an audience and leads to the point where they are aware of their problem. They have awareness of what they're going through. They're interested in the solution. They have desire to fix the problem, and then they take action. This is the marketing funnel that a lot of people go down. The audience consumes enough content to become aware of their problem or pain that they have. They're interested in the solution or offer, wanting to be shown the desired outcome and ready to take action on the solution to fix the problem. What this actually looks like as a DM setter. Lead will reach out to them via the DMs. Now, the DM setter gets 5% commission. So say 5% of a 10K offer, you're making $500 per close. The DM setter is simply that person who sits on the other side of the creator's account to handle the leads, because these creators, these guys don't have time to handle all these leads, all these people. And that's where you insert yourself as value, because you take time off the creator's hands, give them more time to do whatever else they want to do during the day, and you make money by doing that. But the key here is you're of leverage. You're not trading your time for that money. And a simple DM set can look something like this: talking about their pain and problems, moving them down a sales pipeline to get them to the point where they're on a book call with the closer. Now, once the lead is actually booked in by the setter, the closer then jumps on the call with the prospect to discover their journey, their pain, their problem in depth, and how they can fit the solution to their current situation to the point where there's enough value built where they want to buy the product or service because it solves that problem. Now, what does this look like for a closer? So the lead will jump on a call with the closer. This is me closing for the test maxing offer. The remote closer will make around 10% commissions. So say for a 10K offer, that is around $1,000 per close, per call. And these calls can literally take half an hour to 45 minutes. Now, I'm not the only person who has seen success in this space. I want to show you guys just some results from some of the boys that I've helped out and worked with before. Wayne, who was a broke tree planter, who now makes 10K a month as a remote closer. See, Wayne and I literally were in the trenches together. When we first started this journey, we were role playing together, practicing sales skills together, and now his paychecks are looking something like this. Compared to his $1,000 a week paychecks, I mean, it wasn't just his bank account that grew with him. Sales also taught him discipline with his body. I feel like that's another thing a lot of people miss. That's what I pride myself on as well. I feel like sales changed me as a person. It didn't just grow my account, it changed me as a person. Take Ryan for another example, spent $80K on a Maserati for his mum. Or even Kais, who hit a 7.2K month just as a dialer. He used to work in a cleaning business that he was running himself, making 3K a month. This guy was barely breaking even with all of his expenses and everything going on with his life. But now he's at the point where he's making 7.2K a month, literally just dialing phones, learning sales, and understanding how to sell someone on a service. TK hit an 11K month from remote closing. Similar to myself, he's starting to hit those 10K months. He used to work in a fucking warehouse as well. This guy was not meant to succeed. When I tell you there's so many people succeeding in this space who literally were at the ends. They were in the trenches to the point where they changed their life around. This guy was not meant to succeed, but he got an 11K month simply by learning the skills. Then we got Caleb, who hit an 8.4K month just as a setter. I mean, this guy, again, working in a warehouse, similar sort of story to myself, just not liking his situation. But now he's making 8.4K a month. He's able to have more time to do what he loves, doing Muay Thai, which is absolutely sick. Then we got my boy Matt, who hit 7K month with his SMMA. This guy reached out to me ages ago, like last year around July, August, that point, wanting to do SMMA, like wanted to start it, but didn't know where to start, and started looking into high ticket sales. Now he hit a 7K rev month in his third month of doing SMMA, his third month of doing business. But the key here is he learnt sales first. He learnt marketing first, because without those skills, this SMMA business would have fell flat on its ass, because he has so much value. But if he didn't understand how to sell people on that value, he would not have made 7K in a single fucking month. My boy Andrew did 8.2K as a dialer. This guy's Canadian and he used to work as a tradie once again. But here are the screenshots of his bank statements. Fucking insane. Then we got my boy Lewis raking in a 15K month as an appointment setter. His biggest month was actually 20K with bonuses. So he got 18.9 and then some bonuses from the closer for doing such a good job. But Lewis was an ex-plasterer out of Melbourne, Victoria, and he started about 8 months ago. So he's at the point now where he's making 20K months as a setter. And 8 months ago, he was stuck in this position, literally just being a plasterer. Now, there's some frequently asked questions that you guys always talk to me about. How is remote sales shaping up over the next 10 years? Is there longevity in the space? Is it too late to start? Now, ask ChatGPT and why the opportunity is still strong. More businesses than ever are moving online, whether it be coaching, agencies, software, services, education, consulting, you name it. Most businesses are moving online, and a founder doing 50 to 500K a month eventually hits a ceiling handling sales themselves. That creates demand for appointment setters, closers, sales managers, client success, outbound specialists. And a lot of people think that AI is going to kill sales, but it won't, because lead sourcing is what AI is good at. Outreach, personalization, follow-up, CRM work, call summaries. That is what AI is good at with online business. But high ticket sales heavily relies on actually having trust, emotional intelligence, certainty, objection handling, leadership, decision making. AI is not going to be able to talk to someone and actually get them to trust them enough to buy a 10 to 15K product or service. That's just not how it rolls. And a lot of AI is going to take over some monotonous jobs, but definitely not sales. Now, once again, why sales first? Well, a person who cannot sell cannot start a business. It is that simple. That is exactly the path that I went down, and the realization that I came to was, hey, I don't know how to sell. I don't know how to market anything. So how am I going to succeed? Because I didn't understand the skills. The simple fundamentals to succeed is just the skills themselves. Another example of this is my boy Conrad. He's got his own personal brand, which is scaled to about 15K followers, and he started running his own sales agency with Tradie. I remember reviewing this guy's sales calls as training for myself because he started before me. It's a simple fact that if you don't understand how to sell anything, you're not going to succeed in business. It is that simple. The simple fact of the matter is that without sales, without understanding the fundamentals of business, Conrad would not have his business that he has today. He would not be able to garner attention and sell people on his service. Now, I feel like the common theme here is, yes, learn the skills, but it's also, if you never take the first step or take action and get the proper understanding to succeed, then that is how this falls apart. A lot of people may look at this video and think, yeah, bro, I'm going to take action. I'm going to do this, this, and this and change my life. But the fact of the matter is it falls flat on its ass without accountability. And like I said, I tried to go at this shit by myself for ages. I didn't see any results because I didn't understand what the fuck I was doing. And that's why I think getting proper understanding of these skills is vital. It is the most important part before you get to the results, before you actually start making money. You need to go through the trenches. A lot of these guys who got results were in a similar spot to me. We tried for months and months and months, and then we didn't get success, but we kept trying, we kept failing, we kept learning to the point where now we actually understand the skills. But the thing about this is it wasn't always like this. Like we said before, there was a long time, bro, where I was literally seeing no results. I was trying this, that, and the other thing, and I was going nowhere. I feel like a lot of people have this sense of urgency or this idea in their head that they're meant for more, that they should be doing more, or they should become this person that they know they should become. But where this falls apart is when a lot of people say they want this, they say they want that, but they don't take action. There is a disconnect between your mindset and taking action. And fuck, bro, I know what it's like to go out there and try all of these different things and actually get nothing from it. But I know that there are some serious motherfuckers out there like me who actually want to take a crack at this shit. And I'm telling you, bro, the hardest part is actually starting. For those people who want to cut the bullshit and actually start trying to get success. So for those that are actually serious about trying to make a change in their life, trying to get into remote sales and start succeeding, I will leave a link in my bio to actually book in a call with myself or my team where we will literally build out the blueprint for you, the step-by-step process to understand how you can crack into the space, how you can start finding success, how you can actually land a role and start making your first bit of money online. But as always, I appreciate you boys watching this video and I hope it was of some value. But until I see you in the next one, boys, God bless.